Smell me something good. Little shaka, Rufus. So this morning, you're going to learn from the best. Acclaimed New York restaurateur Scott Conant, who's also a Food Network star on Chopped and the host of Chopped Sweets. He's now going to show us how to make this, pasta fagioli. It is so delicious, and it's a meal that you can eat for days. Welcome to the show, the one and only Scott Conant. Hello, chef.
Hi there, how are you today?
I'm better for doing this with you. Before we get into this business, two things. One, you look fantastic. Two, how do you pronounce this dish? Because there is some debate.
There's debate. The slang term in dialect is pasta fagioli, obviously, as everybody knows it. But the correct pronunciation would be pasta fagioli.
Pasta fagioli.
Because you're making fagioli. It's fagioli, exactly.
Fagioli. Are you fluent in Italian?
I am not fluent in Italian. I haven't spoken Italian in years because I work in restaurants and I mostly speak Spanish. That's the truth.
Bueno, entonces hacemos ese segmento en español, entonces.
We're not going to do that. We're going to do
I love you.
So if I said pasta fagioli in most neighborhoods in New York, obviously they're going to say, what are you talking about? So pasta fagioli it is.
Okay. Well,
call it whatever you want. I think it's delicious. That's the most
call it whatever
thing.
you want as long as it's delicious. You know, for our viewers watching along, if you're thinking about what to make for dinner, just scan the QR code on the screen, and that's going to pull up this pasta fagioli recipe Scott is about to make. So shall we get started? I'll cook along with you.
Let's do it. So in this pan right now, I have sauteed some onions and garlic with a bunch of herbs, a little bit of salt, thyme, rosemary, oregano, a little bit of, did I say rosemary? Sage, a little sage as well.
Sure.
I caramelized that all together. And
I'm doing the same thing, by the way. I'm your understudy right now.
So we're going to add some tomato to that once that's all caramelized nicely. Now the key is flavor development, right? I always say when you're adding these ingredients to a pan, it's really important what you do with them next, not just adding them and then adding stuff on top of it. You want to kind of cook this tomato down and start to let it cook on the bottom of the pan, create that caramelization of the sugars in the tomato, and that's just going to create great depth, if that makes sense.
So you let everything cook in its time instead of just dumping things, boom, boom, boom.
Exactly.
I learned that from you guys. Yeah. I learned how to cook by watching all of you, by the way.
Is that right?
Yes, it is absolutely true. Look,
I just want to qualify something. If you watch that looks perfect, by the way.
Thank you.
I just want to qualify something. I'm much nicer than they make me look on those shows. The edits are tough. Yeah.
Okay, I believe it. I 100% believe it.
Thank you. Okay, you're the one. My mother calls me and says, "What's wrong with you? Why are you so mean?"
Aw, my sister calls me and says, "Change that lip gloss. You look terrible." But here we are. So
it's good to have a critic in the family.
You need one critic to keep you honest. All right, so I got the tomatoes 100%. Cooking down.
So the tomatoes, when they start to caramelize on the bottom, create that development of flavor. You're going to add your beans directly inside there. Cook that all up nice. Make sure that you have all that beautiful scent going on. I added a little bit of crushed red pepper and a pinch of salt to this as well.
I'm going to do that as well.
Right?
And chef question, can we use canned beans, or do we always need to use fresh beans?
Yeah, you could use canned beans. You just have to be careful of the citric acid that's in those beans. Sometimes it creates a sour backdrop of flavor, which is frankly a little off-putting. So that's why I would for the dried beans and then soaking them overnight. Or if you don't have time to soak them overnight, what you can do is bring them to a boil for 2 minutes and then let them sit for an hour. And then it's the same thing as if you soaked them overnight.
If you had soaked them.
And then you could start that cooking process. Exactly.
Now,
so that's all cooking.
You're the expert.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did I forget to put my prosciutto in? Was I supposed to put my prosciutto in?
So the prosciutto was optional, but you can put it in with those onions and garlic and all that kind of stuff.
All right, I know my crowd. I know my crowd. If I don't do prosciutto, they're going to come from my head. So this is just diced. You can buy it diced. You can dice it yourself.
Exactly.
But if we were really following you the right way, I would have done this with my garlic and onion, yes?
It's all good. As long as you're allowing that to cook right now, it makes perfect sense.
Well, we only have a half hour left on the show.
Right? Yeah, we got to get this done. Right? So, I don't want to take up all your time. And then you're going to add broth directly to those beans, and you're going to let it cook for at least an hour.
Yeah.
And if you have to add more broth, I would continue to add broth if it reduces down too much. What I do then is reserve about a third of the beans that are there, and I saute them with some cooked pasta. So I have that
In a separate
all
pan.
together right here in a separate pan. And then I take the rest of that soup, which I've also done, and first I'm going to put some of these beans and I use tubetti pasta, but you can use any pasta that you want.
I have ditalini.
I put a little, beautiful, that's delicious. So I put a little fresh parsley in with that because I like that freshness of flavor. Now if puree, I'm not going to go through the process of pureeing everything on camera because it's too loud and it takes too long. But I have this thing of soup right here that I've already pureed. And I'm just going to add it just like that. And this is,
that's
I would say a little bit of a kind of a refined version because it's pureed so nicely. And it just has, I add a little bit more extra virgin olive oil to it. If you're feeling super fancy and you want to cook olive oil with a little bit of rosemary, you can add a delicious rosemary perfume drizzled over the top of it. But it's really that simple and straightforward.
All right. I still have a ways to go because this needs to cook down a little bit. But tell us about this cookbook, which I love. We love the title.
Yes. Thank you. Peace, Love, and Pasta. It's 35 years that I've been cooking in various restaurants in different states and different countries, and I've kind of morphed a lot of those recipes that I've cooked into cooking for the home, things that I cook for my kids.
You've been doing this for 35 years. Did you start when you were 5? I mean, this is crazy.
Normally I'm the charming one, but you're taking the cake today.
Listen,
I was 15. I was 15 when I started,
Unbelievable. Well, I'm going to continue to cook this down. My teammates are looking at me with the evil eye. Where's my soup? You're going to have to wait. Scott, congratulations on everything you've accomplished.
Thank you.
Love you. We love all of this. Go get his cookbook and make this weekend. It will last.
Yes. It's good stuff.
Oh, well, look, now you get to eat it and I don't. Here we are. Scott Conant, thank you so much. You could also head over to pix11.com for the recipe and also pick up a copy of Peace, Love, and Pasta. It smells good.